Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. This is 401 Styling. Today I want to show us how we can make a detachable yoke with collar, just like this one, and I'm going to make use of this velvet fabric to make this particular one. Okay, it was inspired by this picture and I used it to make this one I am wearing. Okay, so what you are going to need, you need your basic bodice, the half scale. Although you do not need everything, just need the shoulder down to the chest line area. Okay, so now this one is going to have a collar, so the neck width is 3 inches and the neck depth is 2.5 inches. This depends on how close you want your collar to be. Okay, so you will take your body measurement from your shoulder down to the bust point, and you can also draft your full bodice like this. Okay, so from the armhole you go down by 1.5 inches. Okay, so this will serve as a top length, that is where your jacket or your yoke is going to get to. Okay, so from here now you are going to mark forward, just measure from the chest line down to 1.5 inches, just like you see me doing. Then you're going to connect with a straight line. So this one is going to serve for both the front and the back bodies. Okay, but we will need to work on the front bodies first. So from the shoulder to this new line is what we are going to be making use of. So now we want to determine the opening, because it's going to have like an opening in between. Okay, so I'm going to be using this blue pen so that we'll be able to differentiate between our lines. Okay, so after this now I'll cut out this, but before that I'll take my measurement. So from the chest line you go up by 1.5 inches or 2 inches. This depends on how wide you want it to be. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate the two for us so that we'll be able to see and decide on which one we will need or we would want to make use of. So after this, you're going to connect from that 1.5 on the center front back to the length you mark earlier. Okay, so I'm going to connect the second one like this as well. Okay, so this is what we are going to have. So you can now decide on which one you want to use out of the two. Okay, so now I'll cut this out first, then we are going to use it to cut at our back pattern. Okay, so this one here is going to be the back, this full measurement, and from here to the curve is going to be the front. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out now. I'm going to transfer to the back bodice before we cut out the front. So this particular yoke can be wear on your sleeveless, your tube, or any strapless dress or blouse. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to transfer the back to the fabric, and here we are going to add our seam allowance, and on the center front I'm going to add my zipper allowance, that is for the back. Okay, I'm going to transfer to the lining first. Okay, so to transfer the pattern now, you need to fold your fabric into two. It can be on fold, and it can also be just 2 layers of fabric, since it's going to be the back bodice. Then you are going to leave some allowance at the center front, which will serve as the center back. You mark your zipper allowance. So for this I'm going to use 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. So secure your pattern to the fabric like this with a pin, just like you see me doing, because you don't want your fabric to keep moving here and there. Okay, so you'll be able to have an accurate measurement. So after this I'll mark my 1.5 inches upward for my zipper allowance. Okay, so you can decide on how many inches you want to use, but make sure you add your joining allowance. And as for the neck, it's going to be neck width of 3 inches and the depth is going to be 1 inch. Okay, so you can make it as low as 1.5 inch depending on whatever design you're working with, but because I want to have a collar here, I don't want it to be too low. So on this other part I'm going to add my joining allowance, but I already have my allowance on the shoulder when I was cutting out the pattern. Just for the hem I'm going to add 0.5 inches, and by this side I'm going to add 1.5 inches for the joining allowance, that is the same allowance. Then I'm going to cut out the zipper allowance here as well. Okay, so by the side here you can decide on how many inches you want to use, but for this I just use 1.5 inches for my seam allowance. Okay, then I'm going to connect the armhole. Then I'm going to cut it out. Thank you guys for stopping by on my channel again. So do not forget to click on the like button, share this video so that people that might want to learn something like this can find it. Thank you very much. So now after this, now I'm going to take this away and I'm going to fold in my seam allowance, my zipper allowance, sorry. I'm going to fold it in this way. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is to cut out this front. Okay, I'm going to cut out the curved part just like we have drawn our line. So you need to decide on which one you want to use. If you cut out the first one and you feel it is too wide or you feel it is too small, you can trim off again. That is why I drew two lines, but I'm just going to maintain this particular one. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is to transfer this to my fabric. Okay, just like I did for the back, but for the front you need to place your fabric on fold. Make sure that you place the pattern on the folded edge of your fabric. Then you are going to mark your seam allowance like so. So I'm going to mark my 0.5 inch seam allowance here. By the side I'm going to add my 1.5 just like I had for the back. Okay, just like you see me doing, you add your 1.5 and connect to the armhole as well. So after this I'm going to cut it out, and by the time I'm done I'm going to have a single piece compared to the back that we have two. You know, we are going to have one opening at the back where we are going to fix our zipper, but as for this one it's just going to be a single piece because it is the front bodice, just like our regular front bodice. Okay, so here is the front and here is the back. So what I'm going to do, I'll use my chalk to mark the lines, that is the zipper allowance, and I'm going to notch the upper part and the lower part. So this will help me when I want to fold in my allowance, because by the time I had my lining and interface, the chalk might clean off. So what you're going to do next, or what I'm going to do next now, is to transfer this pattern to my main fabric. I'll add my interface to both the lining and the fabric. Okay, so after this now I'm going to start joining together. So I already add my interface to the lining and I added it to the velvet fabric as well. Okay, I had my paper stay to the lining and I had my cotton stay to the velvet fabric, okay, to give it enough strength. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to do is to start by turning the front bodice. I'm not going to turn the neckline yet because we want to fix a collar, but let's assume you don't want to fix a collar. You join it around this curved part, then you're going to join the neckline. But because I'm not going to I want to use a collar rather, I'm not going to join the neckline. I'm just going to place the right side of the lining on the right side of the velvet fabric, that is the main fabric. So then I'm going to start by joining the lower part, that is the curved part. I'll join the side, then I'll leave the armhole and the neckline area, okay, and the shoulder. Okay, arrange it carefully and you join it here, okay, and you leave the neckline. And as for the back bodice, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start by joining the zipper allowance area. Remember, we have our zipper allowance. I'm going to join it. I'm going to join the side and I'm going to join the lower part. Okay, then I'm going to leave the neckline and the shoulder. I'm just going to join it here, and the side. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now and come back to show us what it's going to look like. So guys, this is the front bodice and this is what you're going to have. Okay, I only joined the side and the lower part. And as for the back bodice, I did the same thing. I joined the zipper allowance area and this is where we're going to fix our zipper. So this time around you need to get a zipper that you'll be able to remove at the base, just like this one. If you use a skirt zipper, you'll not be able to open it up. Okay, so to make it comfortable, to make it convenient for you to wear, you get a zipper like this. Okay, but before we do that, we'll need to join the shoulders together. Okay, the front and the back. We'll join the shoulder, we'll join the main fabric to the main fabric, and you pick the lining, you join into the lining. So we need to do this first and fix our collar before we start, before we fix our zipper allowance. Okay, but if it is not going to have a collar, you just join it normally. Okay, so guys, I'm done joining. This is what I'm going to have. Now the next thing you will do is to measure around what you have on this neckline area. Okay, this is what you're going to use to cut out your collar. So guys, I already have this collar pattern which I used for one of my previous tutorial. You can check the link in the description box for you to see. Okay, so here I'm going to use this pattern to cut out my collar. So I already cut out the collar, and this is what I have. Okay, I added my interface so that to give you enough strength. So what I'll do next now is to join this to the neckline, starting from the back, the zipper allowance, one zipper allowance to the other. I'll join it all around, then we can fix our zipper. Now I already fixed my zipper and I have joined the collar as well. So I cut out a basic sleeve and I join it to the armhole. You can cut any sleeve of your choice, but I just want to make use of a basic long sleeve for this one. So the next thing I will do now is to take the circumference, and here I'm going to take my bust circumference divided by 2. Okay, so you can just go ahead and measure your circumference divided by 2, or you just mark out your seam allowance, cross check if your measurement is still intact. So guys, this is what our yoke looks like when we are done. So you can decide to add a collar, and you can decide not to have a collar, and you can also decide on any type of sleeve of your choice. So guys, that'll be all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching up to this moment. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, click on the like button, share this video, and do not forget to subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss out next time.